Hi, today we're going to learn the solo from Rosanna by Toto, and it sounds like this. My name's Ollie from Your Guitar Academy, and in this Rosanna guitar lesson we're going to be looking at the scales and the techniques that you need to be able to play this solo. Have a look in the description below. There's a link to our website where there's going to be a full write-up of all the scales and notes on the techniques and everything that I'm using. So click through to that and check it out. Let's look at the key. It's all played over an F chord for the guitar solo part. So we're in F major all the time. Okay, so that first little lick there, that's more, instead of using a scale shape, you could think of it as a 3-note per string, but I'm thinking of it as just F major, just the first 3 notes of F major. So on the D string, we're starting on the 3rd fret, and then we're up to the 5th fret, and then we're up to the 7th fret, and then it's a slide from the 5 to the 7. So we've got, okay, we'll do that a bit more slowly. Hammer on, by the way, and then pick on from the 5th fret, a quick slide up to the 7th fret. All right. Okay, and then after that, we're kind of into a scale shape. We're in this F major pentatonic. I would think of it shape 4. Okay. And it's pretty cool. There's some cool stuff happening in this lick. This sounds like this. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the notes that we're doing. Just remember, this is all coming from this shape 4 F major pentatonic, but with a lot of bends in there and some clever stuff. So, middle finger, 7th fret on the G string, and then index finger, 6th fret on the B string, and then 7th again, up to the 8th fret on the B string. So we've got, okay. So that's what we've got after that. So let's, that's the lick there. So that's the 7th fret on the G string, to the 6th fret on the B string, and then 7th again, to the 8th, and then we've got 6th fret on the B string, up to the 8th fret, but we're bending it up a full tone as well, 8th fret on the B string. Okay, so we get this. So it's always like a low note and then 2 high notes. So it's 7 on the G string, then 6, 6 on the B string, then 7 on the G string, 8, 8 on the B string, and then 6 on the B string, and then 2 on the 8th note, but it's a full bend as well. So, and it's sliding into that 7th fret on the G string as well. So that whole thing goes, sorry, I'll do it again. Okay, and then we've got a really cool bit on the bend, 8th fret, use your little finger on the same string that you're bending, and you just fret on, it is the 9th fret, but the notes we're getting are actually a whole tone up from where we are, which is a super cool effect. It gives you like a little bit further on the bend. Okay, so looking at bending technique here, this is going to be really important that you're bending from your rotation of your wrist and your elbow, sorry, of your forearm. Because if you're trying to do it with your fingers, for one thing, your little finger's not really going to be able to reach, and it's putting so much strain on your fingers to do it that way. We don't have the control then. So really grip the neck like that, and it's a rotation, so you start with your fingers at an angle, okay, and then fret with your little finger, and then we're back down to the 8th fret, still bent up. Okay, so let's just put those bits together. Okay, I'll do that again close up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then we've got a release from the bend, kind of a bluesy lick. Okay, so that's starting on the 8th fret, so yeah, the 8th fret bent up, release, and then pull off to the 6th, and then there's a really quick, you can just about hear it in the record, 7th fret on the G string, and then it's back to the 8th fret on the B string, and then back to our root note, which is on the 6th fret of the B string. Okay, so let's look at the bits we've got so far. I'll stick them all together. I'll do it sort of normal speed, and then we'll do it slowed down, and then we'll go on to the rest of the solo. So. Okay, so that's it at sort of normal speed, and then we'll go again slow. So that in itself has got that little technique there of doing a bend and then fretting another note on the same string. For me, that was a new technique. I've never seen that anywhere else. Steve Lukather, obviously, is an amazing guitar player, doing all sorts of cool stuff. So that probably, if you're unfamiliar with it, it'll take quite a lot of practice just to get that bit right before you move on to the next section. Okay, so one more time. Okay, and then after that we've got this fast run up. It sounds like this. Okay, now there are other videos online and tabs and all sorts of stuff. There's an extra note in here, and it's actually, I think this is how Steve Lukather does it when he plays it live as well. Sorry, I'll go again. Okay, there's a little extra note there. Okay, but I've listened to the record. I think it's just best to work from the record because that's the thing that everyone's going to have access to. If we're going from various live videos or anything, that there could be. I mean, he's such a good player; he could do it differently every time if we wanted to. So we might as well work from what's on the record. So then we know we're all working from the same thing. So let's look one more time at the what might be out there. Okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to go. Okay, because that is what is on the record. Okay, so this lick, right, is still F major, shape 1 of the pentatonic. It's all kind of based around that, which is. Remember, if you're not sure about that, check out the link to our website. There's a full write-up, and there'll be that scale shape. And I think it will have the extra notes that we're going to be using as well. Okay, because it's not just pentatonic. There's a few extra notes stuck in there. So let's just look at them. So starting with your 3rd finger, we're going to start on the 11th fret of the A string, and straight away we're sort of out of position here. We're sliding up into a comfortable position for the rest of this lick. So A string, 11th fret, slide up to the 12th fret. Okay. So straight away we're sort of not even in the pentatonic there. That's the blues. got a blues note there. So, okay, so we're starting there. Then up to the D string. 10, 12. And then we're doing the same again on the G string, 10, 12. So 11, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12. And then we're just coming out a little bit. So again, we've got another chromatic note here. Another slide, it's the same, just an octave up. Which is why that sounds so cool. It's a repeat of what's already happened. Okay, so it's 9th fret on the B string to the 10th fret. And then we're up to the 13th fret on the B string. So back to the 10th fret. Then it's the 11th fret. Then it's the 13th fret again. So then we're finally up to the E string, 10th fret, and it just goes 13, 10, 13. That's our root note. So let's look at the whole lot. All right, I'll go through that slowly. I'll just say the frets as I do them, and just watch for the strings I'm on. So it's, I'll get right close here. So it's 11, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 10, 13, 10, 11, 13, 10, 13, 10, 13. All right, and for the sort of the live way of doing it, you can just stick in a the 9th fret on the E string as well, so you get. So it's just a little extra slide in there. But having listened to it on the record several times, more than several times, it doesn't do that in the recorded one. Okay, and then we're on to the final lick. So. Okay, so I'll call that whole bit the final lick. There is a position shift in there, but it's only from one note to another. So okay, so let's look at the frets we're on there. So we've come up from this run. Try and catch that with your 3rd finger because we're going straight into a bend from there. So it's a bend up, slight release, and straight back into that bend. So we get it twice. Actually, I should say it's not a release because the release is when you hear it come back down. It's the bend up, kill it, and then let the string come back down, and then do the bend up again. So you're only hearing it bending up to the note twice. And then we're back down to the 13th fret, and we do that twice. So. And then it's position shift up. So it becomes the 3rd finger on the 15th fret. And it's down to the 13th fret now with your index finger. Back up to the 15th. So we get. Okay. And then we've got this same thing again happening where we're doing a full bend with our 3rd finger and then catching the same string next fret up with our little finger. That's what we're going for. So the frets are 15, full bend, and then fret on the 16th fret, and then back to the 15th, and then let that come down. You're going to hear that come down. So, and then we're down to the F, which is the 13th fret on the E string, and that's our last note. So. Okay, so I'll play that together. It's kind of a bit easier to get if I play it all in one line. So. Okay, I'll go through that slowly now, get a bit closer, here we go. Alright, so that's all of the notes. I'll play it through in a second, slow then, fast then slow. I just wanted to make a note about the vibrato as well. So there's some pretty aggressive vibrato on here. Okay, especially there when you're on the third finger on that 13th fret on the E string. You can really give it some, it sounds quite aggressive that way, which is it's super cool. So let's go through the whole solo. I'll do it normal speed. I'm not going to play that extra note in the run, and then we'll do it slowed down, so you can get a feel for it. So let's go. All right, so I'll do it again, slow. So that solo it's an amazing solo. It's so well written, really melodic, but it has got some pretty speedy parts in there as well. A lot of the technique, a lot of it's going to come down to technique. I find that on this part, the direction that I'm picking is really important. So I actually start it with an upstroke here, and then it can be down, up, down, up, down, slide, up, and then down. And I'm on the final bit. So that way I'm always changing strings with a downstroke. Sorry. And that, for me, that feels a lot easier, a lot smoother. But it might be different for you, but that is definitely something that you need to be aware of and thinking about when you're doing it. You can't just sort of go for it and hope that your hand does the right thing if you haven't trained it to do the right thing. Okay. So that is the solo from Rosanna. Remember, we've got a link in the description below to our website with the full write-up on there and the scales that I'm using and notes on the technique and everything. There's also loads of other stuff on our site. So if you're unsure about, like, even what I'm talking about when I'm saying shape 1 or that kind of stuff, check it out. There's loads of stuff on there, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll be uploading loads more videos like this. All right, thank you.